Have you ever been swept off your feet by a woman's warmth, attention, and affection, only for her to suddenly pull away and leave you reeling, wondering what went wrong? One minute she's texting you constantly, laughing at your jokes, wanting to spend every moment together, and the next she's cold, distant, and unavailable. That sudden shift, that roller coaster of affection and withdrawal, isn't always random. In many cases, it's a psychological test, a way to measure your emotional strength, confidence, and whether you'll stay grounded under pressure. These tactics aren't necessarily malicious, but they are real, and if you're unaware of them, you can easily fall into emotional traps that leave you chasing, doubting yourself, and handing over your power. So today we're exposing 3 of the most common manipulation tactics women use to test men, and more importantly, we'll talk about how to respond in a way that not only protects your dignity, but elevates your value. Let's dive deep. 1. Intermittent reinforcement. The dopamine trap. This is the most addictive emotional manipulation tactic, and it's rooted in neuroscience. It's called intermittent reinforcement, and it works the same way as gambling. She starts by showering you with attention, constant messages, affectionate words, maybe even physical closeness. It feels intense, electric. Your brain lights up with dopamine. But just when you start to let your guard down, she pulls back. No texts for hours, short, dry replies, canceled plans, confused and desperate to get back to the high. You chase, text more, ask if everything is okay, offer to meet. This is exactly what you're not supposed to do. Why? Because when you chase, you reveal that her behavior controls your emotions. You show that your self-worth depends on her validation. A high-value man never allows that. Instead, apply the stoic frame. When she pulls back, you don't react emotionally. You match her energy. You stay grounded. You use her distance as fuel to refocus on your goals, your mission, your purpose. You don't beg for her presence. You make your presence so powerful that people notice when you're absent. That's real attraction. 2. The congruence test. Can she shake you? Next is the congruence test, commonly known in the dating world as a shit test. This isn't about hurting you, it's a way of checking whether the confident man you portray on the surface is actually who you are underneath. She might throw a light jab. You wore that out in public, or you're so full of yourself, aren't you? It's a poke at your frame. Most guys fail here by getting defensive, arguing, or trying to justify themselves. But a high-value man doesn't get rattled. He doesn't take the bait. The key here is calibrated humor and emotional control. You can smile and say, "This? Oh, I've got 3 worse ones at home. This is me being modest." Or if she calls you arrogant, respond playfully, "If I had your attention for any longer, I'd start to believe it." The point isn't the exact words, it's the energy. You're unshaken. You're playful, confident, and self-assured. But let's be clear, there's a difference between a test and actual disrespect. Teasing is one thing, but if she's consistently demeaning or toxic, that's not a test. It's a red flag. Set boundaries early and walk away from anything that crosses your values. Confidence isn't loud, it's calm, and it doesn't explain itself. Triangulation, creating jealousy to gain control. The third tactic is triangulation, a powerful manipulation strategy designed to create insecurity through competition. She might casually bring up her ex, or talk about a male friend who texts her funny things, or mention how someone hit on her at work. This isn't just conversation. It's designed to make you react, to test if you'll get jealous, if you'll start competing for her attention. It's a subtle power move, and most men fall for it. They become possessive, emotional, or start questioning themselves. But a high-value man holds the abundance frame. That means you are the prize. You aren't threatened by the presence of other men, because your worth isn't determined by someone else's validation. When she says, "David at work is so funny," your response is smooth and dismissive. Cool. Anyway, did you book that movie ticket? You don't flinch. You don't chase. You don't try to prove yourself. That's the kind of emotional control that commands respect. Because deep down, she doesn't want a man who's jealous. She wants a man who's secure. Final thoughts. Intermittent reinforcement, congruence tests, and triangulation. These are the silent weapons of emotional manipulation that many men never even realize they're facing. But here's the truth. The solution isn't to beat women at these games. The real power lies in not playing the game at all. It's about becoming the man who is simply above these tactics. A man whose peace doesn't depend on texts, whose self-worth isn't shaken by playful jabs, and who isn't intimidated by the presence of another man. You don't need to control her behavior. You need to master your own. That's what makes you truly attractive. When you operate from strength, purpose, and internal security, the right women will gravitate toward you, and the ones who come with manipulation will filter themselves out. Either way, you win. If this helped open your eyes, make sure you like the video, subscribe for more content on high-value masculinity, and drop a comment below. Have you experienced any of these tactics? How did you handle it? Let's talk. Thanks for watching.